your seat and buckle up. Seat backs and tray tables in their full upright position.
Yep.
It's another episode of Skip Happens.
While you're sipping your
A view
wine.
from 30,000 feet. From the first music lesson to the first paid gig to signing the deal, it's the journey that is the life of an artist. Now, here's your captain and co-captain, a.k.a. your hosts, Skip Clark and Deb Lamphere.
There she is. Hi, everybody. How are you?
Hello.
Woo. Deb, you doing good tonight?
I'm doing great. And how are you tonight?
I'm doing very well. And our special guest, Sarah, with the group Hudson Valley, is with us. Hello, Sarah. How are you?
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Now, Hudson Valley, I love the group. I love the name. New York State, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody in the band from New York State?
No. So me and my husband, Richie, he is our drummer. Him and I are from the Hudson River Valley. Told you we're from Orange County. I'm from Middletown. He's from Monroe. But the other two, Andrew and Matt, Andrew's actually from Jersey, but we didn't meet him till we were in Nashville. And Matt is, well, he'll tell you he claims both Texas and Oklahoma, but Oklahoma where he was raised, so Oklahoma.
I love it. I love it. Well, we're going to find out about you. I know you've got a new single that just dropped. It's called Shut Me Up, but it's not your first attempt at radio. It's actually your second or third, and you've done really well. I know the first single climbed the charts like crazy. And that's when I was telling you that I had one of my reps. And when we say reps, we talk about those people that call the radio stations and say, hey, I've got this band. Will you play them?
Yeah.
And they kept saying, this band's from New York. They're your people. You need to play them. So,
Our kind of people.
Yep, there are kind of people too. And I played it and it went over really well. And like I said, now you're on the second single. But Sarah, we're going to start right at the beginning here. Where are you right now? You're not in New York. Where are you?
No, I am on the outskirts of Nashville, Tennessee. I'm in Murfreesboro. That's where we live right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of Murfreesboro people lately, actually.
Oh yeah, that's where we all like to say we're in Nashville, but that's where it works. We all live on the outskirts.
You're probably better off these days. It's so crowded down there.
It's something. Oof.
Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy, girl. I know. Deb's there every other week. I'm there maybe twice, 3 times a year. But,
Okay.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about the band Hudson Valley. I was reading some of the bio, and I know a little bit about you guys from before, but I want you to tell everybody it's like a punk to a rock. And now you're like country.
Yeah. I mean, I have always been country. I am that person in the band. It just, wasn't a thing for New York. And it was, I always felt like I needed to be down south in Nashville, doing this because I've always wanted to be a country singer. So when we kind of made the move, my husband, being from New York as well, was in punk rock bands, and that was what he did. And I told him that I wanted to go to Nashville, and happy wife, happy life. So
oh yeah,
goodbye with the punk rock, and here it is, full swing doing this country thing. And then, the boys, we all kind of have different influences. For me, it's the 90s female country voices, Trisha, Martina, Faith, that kind of stuff. But Richie's all punk rock. Andrew's lots of that classic rock stuff. And then Matt will tell you that the 90s country stuff is early like modern country, because he likes the traditional stuff, so it's like we all have all of these different influences. So when you put it together, it is what it is. And I can't really explain it.
You can't explain it, but it works.
It's working.
Yeah, absolutely. When you talk about the 90s country and then even the early 2000s, do you realize all that is coming back? Do you realize that the younger demographic, that is what they're really digging now? It's like it's going back to what?
Oh yeah. And I'm so okay with that. Like that's literally, like, especially when we have shows, 90s country is the reason I do this. So I'm so okay with, and a lot of the people who are coming out right now are in my age group. So they grew up on that stuff too, so it's like we're all kind of influenced, and we all have the same influencers. So it's nice to see that everybody's kind of doing.
Oops. Sorry about that. I was going to do a little bit of this while you were. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Listen.
I can't get you off the tip of my tongue. You're running through my head again. Like one of those summer sing-along songs you play it once and you're stuck in there. I'm either talking about you or thinking about you, running my mouth about being without you to all my friends. Shut me up, I show it up, the strawberry stuff's on my lips. You know you like so much. Little kiss, do the trick. Give me something else to do with my lips. Cause I go on and on.
Now, that is, of course, a clip of the new single. And I can tell you, Sarah, what I hear, I can hear the punk, I hear the rock, and I hear you with that like 90s, early 2000 country female sound. Which is, that's pretty cool. Tell us about the song, though. Who did the writing? How did all that come about?
So this one is our first ever cover. So this is it's Old Dominion's first single is what it is. And we had been playing it live since we became a band. And I don't know if it's just the fact that it's a woman singing it or what, but nobody realized that it was an Old Dominion song and everybody thought it was ours. So
I know, I didn't realize that myself.
I've been doing this a long time and my hand is in the air because I did not know either, Deb.
Yeah, and it's funny. Like you have to be like, an OG fan in order to know that, because it's not Hotel Key, it's not one man band, it's not one of those. But it was their first one that they put out, and I've always loved that song. So we've been playing it, and people always thought it was ours. And then when we were, unable to be out and about playing during the wonderful pandemic, we went into the studio and we were like, well, let's just do something we've been doing. And it just kind of came up like, well, we should totally do our cover of, our version of that song. So we did. Yeah.
You did. I can hear it. It's a little now that I'm thinking about this a little bit, but you put your own spin on it. You made it yours. And that's what you need to do.
Yeah, it's definitely when you play them side by side, there's definitely a lot of similarities. The key's different. Ours is, I think, a tiny bit faster. But definitely the fact that I'm singing it makes it sound totally different. So it's pretty cool.
Who
I love it.
Thanks.
Who wears the pants in the band?
That's a stupid question.
As she sips her wine.
Skip, you should know better.
You come on.
I'd throw it out there. But it's pretty awesome. Seriously. So how long have you been in Nashville?
February was 4 years.
Oh, wow. Okay. Still rather new.
Yeah. And then, if you count the fact that we lost an entire year with 2020, so we've been here for 3 years.
3 years. And the band's been together that whole time that you've been there?
Yeah. Yep. We moved down in 2018. I was originally doing the female solo stuff. But we kind of quickly noticed that there is no female fronted band down here, and especially in country music. So we kind of decided to pave our own little lane and do things ourselves, do things our own way. And that was when we took everything that we were doing and we're like, well, let's just call us Hudson Valley. We'll be a band. And that's how it worked. And yeah, so far so good.
And Skip, they're from New York. So you got to play them because you're a New York radio station. All right.
I love the whole forwardness of the New Yorker, though. This is it. This is our band. We're going to be called this, and this is the way we're doing it, and we're just going for it. I like that.
We're a different breed down here. I'll tell you that. You stick out like a sore thumb because it's like, wait, what? That and the language is a little different.
I'm originally from Long Island, so I have that go get 'em like attitude. And sometimes when I want to do things, I want to do it now. I want to do it my way, and I just want to move forward.
Same. Like I don't know a trait or if it's just a thing from being in New York. Like in New York, it's a break. Like if I'm not going to do it, nobody else is going to do it. For me. So I got to do it.
It is. We have some attitude.
A little bit.
A little bit. Gets in the way of my life sometimes, but what are you going to do?
Well, I'm from upstate New York. I've been here all my life, so I'm like, when it gets
He's a little laid back.
Yeah, somebody else will take care of it. I'm good. Or with my wife, it's whatever you say, honey. We're good. We're good. Yeah.
He's easy.
Got it. So how did you talked about that year that you lost and you and everybody else, but how did you guys get through that?
Drinking.
Well,
Well, it was
honest.
yeah, totally. It was hard. It was really, it was devastating to us because the year before was such like a good introduction for us into Nashville and into the country music scene down here and into country music period. Like we had put out our debut EP. It was a top 20 album on iTunes for like, we had no idea how the hell that happened. We were running with it because we were just so proud of what we were doing. We had so many shows and festivals booked for 2020. And then once those text messages started coming through and those emails, like, it started off nice enough, because it was like, hey, I know it's for April. Let's push it to June. Hey, I know it's for May. Let's push this to July. And then it just never stopped. It was just like, it took the wind out of our sails, to say the least, but we all got day jobs and we all stuck around, and we have a lot of friends and acquaintances that were down here doing this, and they all went back to where they came from, because it was, if you're playing down here and you can't do that, what do you do for, how do you pay your bills?
Right.
So
exactly.
it was tough. It got a little sketchy there for us for a couple times, but we pulled through and we stuck around and went to the studio.
You still working those day jobs?
Some of us are, yes. not as frequent as what we once were. Yes.
Only when needed.
Only when needed. Yeah. Only when it's good to have a little outlet there.
Yeah. Well, only when we're not playing.
There you go.
Whereabouts do you get out and play in Nashville?
Everywhere. For the most part, like a lot of people know us because we have a residency with Blake Shelton's Old Red, so we're there.
Oh yeah, very cool.
Yeah, so we're there weekly. We play Dierks Bentley's Whiskey Row. We've done the Sutler Saloon that was like our beginning spot. We've done stuff with bar lines at the Omni Hotel. We play wherever you will let us play. But
bar lines. Yes, bar lines. Where's my bar lines glass? Remember,
Skip likes that place. Yeah. Where is that? I haven't seen it.
I have to put it on the podcast table here somewhere. I do. Yeah, I kind of
accidentally walked out with a glass, and it never.
Sure you did.
I gotta have one of these. Man, it was just right for a nice beer, and it was awesome. It was awesome.
So, do you have to audition to be in all of these places, or do you send in? Because that's a lot of. Usually, when we talk to artists, they kind of are stationed at one or two places, and they stay there. You have that opportunity to be all over, which is great because there's different age groups, different audiences. Yeah. How do you get into all of those different venues?
I'm from New York.
There you go. That's all. I shouldn't even ask.
That was answered about 5 minutes ago.
Come on, you know this answer. Yeah, you know this answer. No, there are processes down here, and it is a different animal down here to be a part of Broadway. And there are certain bars that do certain places and will only keep you at certain, that kind of thing. But we were luckily able to make such a name for ourselves so quickly that they ask us.
That's great.
And
that's awesome.
That's how it works.
That's a good feeling. Absolutely.
It has been awesome. Yeah. They've been very good to us down here.
Well.
Sarah, how long have you been playing music?
Professionally since I was 6 or 7 years old. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. I did I was doing those like toy commercials in the late 90s. I was the jingle. I was the singer to it. Yeah. I wasn't in the commercials, but I was the voice.
But your voice was there. Really?
Yeah.
For example, what toys? Kind of help me. Do you recall or just
no, I'm not going to tell you because you're going to go on YouTube and find them. And
yes, I was going to.
I've done that, so no.
You know me too well already.
That started it for me, and that's probably like the most important one for me was because it was like my first little introduction to being a professional singer. Was a doll called Baby Go Boom, and
wow.
Yeah, they gave me a check.
And Baby Go Boom.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. But and they gave me the doll, so I have the doll in a box, and it's like a nice little memento. And it was it started me working at a very young age. Yes.
Yeah. So how did you get that though? How did you, being 6 or 7, whatever it was?
Yeah.
How did you actually get that job? Did mom and dad say, "Hey, you want to try this," or somebody find you, or how did that happen?
Obviously I didn't do it.
Right.
My parents totally had the back end of that, but I've wanted to be a singer since I was 3 years old, and I'm very vocal about it. And if I want to be singing, this is what, I'm like, I want to do this. And it was, well, then how the hell do we make her sing something? Like I was doing, competitions, talent shows, doing the national anthem every week. I would do anything to sing. So it was just a fluke. I'm not sure how it happened, but somebody that we knew somebody out in Woodstock, and they were like, "Hey, we're recording jingles. You want to come try it?" And that was how it worked.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It always amazes me when someone knows at an extremely young age what they want to do when they grow up, sort of, you know what I'm saying? And there have been some artists that literally at 3 and 4 years old just knew, this is where I'm going.
Oh, look at me.
Definitely.
I'm in my 60s and I'm still looking.
Definitely one of those. And I'm not really, I've never had a backup plan. So it's like, this work.
You're from New York. Why do you need a backup plan?
That's right.
You'll get what you want.
Exactly. So that was
just go and do it. I love the red hair, by the way.
Thank you very much.
And why is it red?
Because there's too many blondes in country music.
Oh, that's a good answer. No, I like that. Exactly right.
God's honest truth. I was working down here with I had an artist development deal when I first moved down here as the solo female artist thing, and it was like, yeah, I can sing with the best of them, but it's like you're blonde and blue-eyed, and all of the other 17 of them on Broadway are too. You know what I mean? And one of the guys we were working with, the lights were on me, and he was like, "You look great as a redhead." And I literally went to the salon the next day and dyed my hair red. And I was like, no matter what I was going to do, if it was going to make me stand out or be different than everybody else down here, I was doing it. Yeah. And I had been platinum blonde for 15 years. So
you caught on to exactly why I was asking, because it's not that often that we see a redhead country singer. Yeah. And I know that's not your natural color. So
no, cherry red.
No, obviously. I love it. I love it. And what you've done as an artist, and even with the band all together, you've made yourselves unique. You've made Hudson Valley a band that somebody's not going to forget or get you confused with somebody or whatever. You're doing your own thing.
Exactly.
So you know exactly what you're doing.
I'm trying. I've been around the block,
I know. Wow, I can tell just by talking to you. If you weren't doing music, what do you think you'd be doing?
I literally.
Podcast?
There is no plan B there, Skip.
Oh, that's right. I should have known.
Yeah,
oh man,
I would be doing. I'm not really good at anything else.
Well, you're very good at what you do.
Now, do you write a lot, or do your other band members do? Okay.
Yeah. No. Aside from this song, I've written every single song we've put out.
Okay.
Yeah, and we just this year was like with the pandemic and stuff. We started kind of getting into that group writing thing. So and it's been interesting because it doesn't exactly end up the way that we think the song is going to end up, because like it kind of starts as like a jam session and then it's like we'll have like a title and we'll just kind of go with stuff. So we've gotten a couple under our belt that way, but all of the ones that we have released were written by me and actually I believe aside from this Shut Me Up one, Cherie Austin. I don't know if you remember her from 90s.
Yes, that's a 90s.
Yeah.
In fact, I think we saw her once at CMA Fest. Didn't she leave the business for a while
she's been she was doing, the solo female thing and was doing it well. And then I think her songwriting stuff just kind of kicked off even more because she ended up being a huge songwriting star for male country artists. So who would have thunk it? Yeah.
Who would have thunk? Good for her. Her.
She's doing good.
Tell her we said hi.
Will do.
Okay.
It's like Cindy Thompson.
Mhm.
She left. She had it all going for her. She had songs on the radio and they were kicking ass. Everything was going good. And then she decided, you know what? I'm going to concentrate on a family.
Yeah.
And she did. She backed right away from it. We kind of keep in touch, but she's like, I want to come on the podcast, but I'm not quite ready yet. I'm still writing. I'm putting music together. My kids are grown now, so it's kind of cool. So
yeah.
let's see, she had those priorities too.
Mhm.
So kind of cool. What's your favorite downtime activity? What do you get together with the guys and it's Wind Down Thursday? No, what day is it? Monday. What can we call it?
Wind Down Monday.
Wind Down Monday. Then there's Wind Down Tuesday, Wind Down Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
All of those, all of the days.
It all works. That's a white wine? What are you drinking? What
this exact moment, this is a Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah,
Ooh.
one of my favorites.
Yes, I like it too. I think it was Josh Sellers is the name of the. It's lovely. But for me, downtime stuff, I'm always doing things for the band. Whether it's emailing people, booking shows, doing this kind of stuff, when we're really doing nothing, like the four of us like to just like go out and do the touristy thing and go around all the bars and see all of our friends play, and that kind of, so it's, we like to, just kind of hang out. So, and that's the best part about the band that we're in, so even when we're not working together, we still want to hang out together,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, that was going to be one of my questions, actually. If you do get out to go see other people perform, because when you're on stage yourself, usually I would think it might be hard to sit there and watch other people because you yourself want to be up there. But
we have friends that we love to go out and see, but for the most part, especially like, I won't be going out like on a Friday night on Broadway because it's just, if I'm not on the stage, I don't like being in the crowd of it all because it's a lot.
It's madhouse.
Yeah, we've seen it.
Nashville. It's like a Bourbon Street mixed with Las Vegas, mixed with
it is so insane now. Like if we go out, we'll go out on a Sunday afternoon or Sunday evening or like one of the weeknights.
Best time to do it, absolutely.
So yeah. I used to love those Friday, Saturday night deals, but now it's just too insane.
I love them, but I love being on the stage.
Yeah, I hear you.
So on those slow nights, you just get out, or on those nights where you don't want to go downtown, you go to the Station Inn on the outside of town.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely. Those are the places. It's one of my favorite places. What about the Bluebird? We're talking about different bars here. You've had that opportunity, right?
Yeah. I've sold out Bluebird. Yes. It was one of the highlights of my life. For me, the Bluebird, the Opry, the Ryman, they're my Madison Square Garden, So to be asked to play that and I did a writer's round with Sheree Austin and Kent Blasey, who is Garth Brooks's songwriter, and he sang every Garth hit, and it was just like, I think I drank way too much wine because I blacked out. And I think I was just too nervous, and I cried a couple times, and I did it, and it was great. But I don't really remember a lot of it because I think I just got so nervous that I blacked out.
Aww.
Yeah. There's lots of videos though. If I ever want to relive it, I can watch videos.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Good stuff though. What was the last album that you might have listened to, or that you listened to?
Full album. Maren Morris's new one that she put out.
The Quest.
Yeah, I really like it.
Yeah.
Listen to it, front to back. I think it's great, and I think it's nice that she put out an album. I'm glad. I'm hoping that this is a turning point, because I saw that Luke Combs just announced that he's doing an album too. Because it's nice to see a full body of work because so many people are doing the single thing. And I get it, but it's cool when you get to listen to something beginning to end in the way that it was made by the artist,
I do miss those too myself.
Yeah, exactly. She's right. So do I.
And pop it on. Well, now, vinyls you have to do in the house, but the CDs, I would love getting the CDs, reading them, covers, reading all the things on the inside, and who they're dedicated to. I miss all that.
Now it's all a flash drive. You plug it in, read the PDF that's on the drive. You got the tracks on there. You can do it that way. CDs are like, what?
I know. I'm a sucker for CDs, though. I mean, I was a sucker for vinyls, but they just don't do them anymore. I have thousands of CDs in there. So
you have a CD player in your car? Oh, wait a minute, Debbie. The one you're driving, you probably do.
Yes, the ones we have. Yes, we have older cars right now. So
nothing wrong with that.
No, nothing wrong. I don't have a CD player in mine.
What do they put in the new cars then?
It's all USB connections.
So you have to play it from whatever's on your phone,
or you can play it up with the Bluetooth off your phone. If I wanted to listen to Hudson Valley, which I suggest everybody do, you can play it right off your phone, right through your system in the car. Of course they need to listen to the Wolf in Syracuse, but I mean when they're not.
Well, if Hudson Valley's on the Wolf in Syracuse, they can do both at the same damn time.
Absolutely.
Absolutely right. If you could collaborate with anybody, who would that be? Let's say you could get, got the guys in the band and you, and say, man, who would that be?
Like collaborate, like do like shows, like go on a tour with, or like do a duet with?
Maybe do a duet with.
Okay, do a duet.
Let's talk about you.
I'm gonna say for me, to sing with, I bet you like Brett Eldridge will be a really good voice to go with. Yeah,
I love Brett.
I do that. I love his voice. Trying to think. Who else is? I love Chris Young's voice. Something like that. I feel like would be something deeper, and I think it'd be nice.
That's the Brett. What you said, Brett Young?
Well, actually, I could do Brett Young too. Brett
you
Eldridge.
said Brett Eldridge. That's it. Yep. That's it. So Brett Eldridge has that lower voice. Chris Young's got that lower voice.
Yeah. I think that would be like a nice a compliment to the way that I sing. Yeah.
I thought for sure you were going to name a 90s artist.
I mean, I can say, my boss down here, Blake Shelton. I'd love to do something with him.
He's a character, though. He definitely. Do you ever feel intimidated if you're around some of these people, or do you feel like, oh my God, that's Blake Shelton? Holy shit! What am I going to do?
Particularly with Blake, we see Blake so often. At first it was nerve-wracking, but he knows us by name now. I know all of his band members, their phone numbers are in my phone. They're wonderful people. Gwen Stefani is intimidating, but not so much Blake.
So do they come down to Old Red a lot? I don't see them really doing that because they're so busy. And they're in Oklahoma. Where are they? They're in Oklahoma,
they're in
right?
They're in Oklahoma, and then they're in LA as well. So he's he's not always, but he does frequent the Tishomingo Old Red that we have up there in Oklahoma. But he is in Nashville more than is known. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's good, I guess.
Yeah.
Throw a baseball hat on them, they'd never know that.
No, believe me. The minute that if there's even like a inkling that he might be in the building, those people down there know, and they are waiting.
Well, I remember a story not that long ago. Keith Urban was standing on the corner in Broadway, and he was just playing like one of those street musicians, and he had a hat on and a wig, and he was just, nobody knew.
Yeah, I could see that.
He was just being silly.
Aside from the fact that, he's an amazing guitar player, and I'm sure he probably wasn't actually singing, because I'm sure if
that would give it away.
If he opened his mouth, I'm sure everybody down here would know. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So let's get back to the band a little bit. Hudson Valley,
of
course, coming out with a brand new single, Shut Me Up, which we just talked about a few minutes ago. But is there another project that you're currently working on?
Yeah.
You can't tell us.
we have a handful of songs that we are preparing to release this year. Okay. We're pretty excited about that, but we're not sure how we're going to do it. If it's going to be like that body of work type thing where they're all, put together in a way that we've arranged and want it to be put out, or if we're going to do a couple singles, or, we've got a couple little things that we've got going on. And at this exact moment, the next thing that will be released is we're doing a very special project that is near and dear to our heart. And that one's more of a surprise, but any of our fans would be very excited to know that it's happening. So it'll be cool, but we're not giving the details on that one.
Ooh.
Sarah, I have to ask, who is your celebrity crush?
My celebrity crush. Ooh. Ryan Reynolds.
Good one.
He's hilarious and he's cute, you know.
Mm-hmm. Good one.
Wow.
That's a good one.
I'm trying to think. I'm going to stay neutral.
Neutral. Okay.
Neutral. That is all. And where do you see the band in about 5 years? Where do you see yourselves?
I mean, I hope we're touring, and I'd like to take that ACM Vocal Group of the Year title away from Old Dominion over to us. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes.
Have you been able to go to the award shows?
We haven't. We were going to go in 2020.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Shocking, right? Like this year was our first CRS. We were supposed to do it then, and then everything, happened. But it was fun to kind of get out and do some things. So hopefully, maybe next year.
I'm surprised I didn't see you at CRS.
Oh, what the heck? Yeah.
Yeah. Why didn't we? Because I'm sure we would have spotted her.
We must have been in bar lines when you were in bar lines. I'm just saying. I mean,
the hair color was the same. I don't know.
I would have spotted you a mile away.
We'll remember that next year.
Must be the night I was stealing the glass.
Yes, got to do that. I'll send you one. Okay.
Oh, yeah, do it. Well, I have one, so we're good to go there.
We need to do.
That's what I said.
Who would you like to go out on tour with? Go out on tour with somebody. Who would that be? If you had your chance to go out on tour with anybody, who would that be?
It's a tie. I mean, I don't know. I would love to go out with Old Dominion.
That would be fun.
We've been like manifesting it. We're trying to put this ODHV tour together in our heads and see what happens.
Do they know that you recorded that song?
Yeah.
I say that would be so cool if you were out with them and then your number one song is their old.
Yeah.
That would be so awesome.
Wouldn't it be cool? We're actually we're going to be playing in June the Pepsi Gulf Coast Jam, and they are doing it as well. So
very cool.
It would be pretty cool to meet up with them. But no, when we were recording the song, I stupidly took a video of the guys while we were recording stuff. I think Matt was playing organ at the time, and I slipped it on into their DMs on Instagram, and they were and they were like, "Wait, what is this?" And I was like, "It shut me up. Is that okay?" And they're like, "Yeah." Like, we've been talking about it. We've been talking about it ever since. And then when we got like the final mixes of it, and when we were like, finalizing the song, we had sent it over to them, and they sent us back all fire emojis. So we're like, okay, good. So it was nice.
It was a good response.
Yeah.
Nothing to worry about. Those guys are so talented too. When you think about all the songs they've written and all the different hits they have, a lot of listeners have no idea. That's
the best part is so many people don't know the songwriters behind the songs that they know. Yeah.
And Deb and I both love that fact. Like we'll go to these showcases with the songwriters.
Yep.
Just, we want to hear the story behind the songs.
Yep.
It's one thing you got a group singing it, but let's go behind the scenes a little bit, so to speak. And let's find out, how was the song written? Who wrote the song? How was it written and why?
Yeah.
It's always very interesting.
That's the best part. And it's the best part about being in Nashville down here is that we get the opportunity to do that as well. With doing the writers rounds like the Bluebird, that was what that was. And it was talking about the songs, why I wrote them before I even put them out, and then we get to do that like at the listening room, that kind of thing. And that's some of the best places to go and see the actual songwriters of it. And, Old Dominion's written a whole bunch of songs for Blake, like it's, if anybody ever gets the chance to see an Old Dominion show, it's so much more entertaining than you think. Because even if you think you don't know a lot of Old Dominion songs, they do break it down to when they do those songs for other people, and it's amazing the songs that they've written. Yeah.
Yep, it is. And they do that single concert. Go ahead, Deb.
They were here a couple years, well, before COVID. Wasn't it like the year before all that happened?
Yes,
they
and
did their at
exactly
the on center. And that was the first time I saw them on their own, not being an opener for someone. And I forgot that I knew every one of it. I knew literally every song, and I knew all the words to it too.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, this is so awesome. And they were very entertaining, humorous, and enlightening, and they engaged with the audience. It was a great, great show. I kind of feel like sometimes, some of those talented groups get a little bit shortchanged if they're opening for someone else, because they can't do everything that they're known for. So
right.
Great group.
The showcase that they've written all these number ones, but now they do.
No, that's great.
What about family? I mean, you say you got a husband. Are there any kids involved, or is it just you guys? Or
we have 2 dogs and a cat.
Oh, that's enough.
Yeah.
Love it. We have 2 dogs, so I know they're awesome. We don't have any cats because that wouldn't go over good in this house, but
we didn't think it would either, and then it just kind of happened. So she's just here.
I love it. Hey, do you get to let's talk sports for a minute? What do you like to go and do?
I like the Preds down here for hockey. That's been
ask. Okay.
We are going to a Nashville Sounds game on Thursday. And, look at that shirt.
This is the Nashville Sounds jersey, baby.
See?
Yeah.
But we don't. I mean, we've seen the Titans. We've done a couple. I'm an Atlanta Falcon fan. My husband is sadly a New York Giant fan. So Atlanta for us is like 3 hours if we were going to drive to the Mercedes Stadium and go check them out. But we do have a lot of very cool opportunities to see the Titans play down here because they're so close. Yeah. So that's cool too. But yeah.
So they're building a new stadium, I think I just read somewhere.
That's what I heard. I'm eager to see how that's going to go and where the heck they're going to put it. But
that was going to be my question is where? Right? Where is it going to go? Where
else could you put this? But
there is no room.
No, unless they knock it down, I have no idea where else they could put a new stadium.
Would they replace the stadium they have now?
I have no idea.
Or that could be parking, and then the stadium is.
There's that. Yeah, it's a lot.
Condos are going to go there, and then the stadium will go somewhere else. But there are
so many things.
Yeah, they should keep it downtown though, because it just brings so much business to that area.
100%. I completely agree with keeping it down there.
I was just curious if you knew where it was going to be. I just read about it.
Yeah, I had just heard about it myself. No, we haven't. The last thing that I heard about it was that they were going to try to do something to the hotel taxes to make tourists pay for it. Yes. That was what I heard.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's enough tourists.
Well, that was kind of it. So I'm like, well, we probably could do it really quickly.
2 stadiums, we'll do it.
Exactly. Yeah. I know people are like, no, there's no way. You have no idea how insane Nashville has become since the pandemic ended. Like, it's 2019 times 10.
Mm-hmm. People just couldn't wait to get out, I think.
It is insanity down there. It's like these people just have, like they were just cooped up for too long and they're taking it out every weekend. Oh yeah, it's nuts.
I see the cams. I'll go on the webcam and I'll look at Broadway or even Tootsie's, and it's just like, this place is too freaking crowded. This is crazy. And like I said, I'm there a few times out of the year. Deb's there quite a bit because she's got business there. So it's crazy. And the way it's grown, just leaps and bounds. And, you've been there 4 years. I'm sure it's doubled its size.
It looks so different already just in the past 4 years. It's insanity.
So I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Just because we were on that topic of being around there, what are some of your favorite restaurants out there?
Ooh,
because I'm always looking to try some new places when we come down.
Oh yeah. Well, let's think. I love Mexican food. Yeah. I love Mexican food. Mm-hmm. So there's this place in Midtown called Nada.
Okay.
It's lovely. If you watch Food Network like we do, one of the I think she's an Iron. Yeah, she is an Iron Chef. Manit. She has restaurants downtown by Broadway. One is the Mockingbird and the other one is called Tan Sao. And it's like this Asian fusion Indian thing, and it is phenomenal. And it's like all her menu, so it's phenomenal. And then if you're like steakhouse, I like Oak Steakhouse, which is right off of Demumbrian.
Oh, haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, it's really nice.
All right, I wrote them down, so I have
to call that
places
road
to try.
Demon Girl.
Demon. Can I tell you? I called it Demon Brune when I came down here.
But you did, because I did.
Because I'm like, why? What else would you call it? Like, it's Demon Brune. Like, it just seemed right.
It's the way it's spelled.
It's the way it's spelled. The logic down here goes out the window. So I'm like, okay. And then they're like, no, it's Demumbrian. And I'm like, sure. And that was, I had called it probably the first year that I lived here, Demon Brune.
That's funny.
It was so pathetic. There was another one, but I can't think of what it was. But Demon Brune was stupid.
Yeah, I know. I did the exact same thing many years ago.
See? I'm not the only one. Okay.
No, you're not. Believe me, we're not the only two. I'm sure there's so many. Being an independent artist, what are some of the challenges you have? I know you've got the whole band, but still, you're doing everything independently. What are some of the challenges?
Everything is a challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's everything. We're doing everything ourselves. We've been lucky enough to make a lot of really great connections. And I've always said that, it's a matter of, you put me with the right people, I'll take care of everything else, so that's been the hardest part, is trying to make those connections, and trying to do booking and trying to get anybody to pay attention to your music. And, it's everything about it has been hard. Social media is hard. And who would have thought that that's like a full-time job in itself?
It is a full-time job.
Like, holy crap. I had no idea. Like, in the multiples of them. Like, I got Instagram and Facebook, and that is about as far as I can get, guys. Like, leave me alone with the TikTok thing.
And that's hard enough to keep up just with Facebook and Instagram.
Exactly. They're literally, I understand why people are paid to be social media, like, creators or whatever that they do, because it blows my mind. But like a lot of that is hard. And then the biggest part for us is that financially we do all of this ourselves. And I don't think people know how expensive it is to record a song.
Exactly.
I think you're right there.
Let alone 7 of them. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot. So that's the hardest part, is that I've found that a lot of people down here, and this was like a rude awakening for me, was that a lot of people come down here with investors and a backing of some sort. And here we are trying to do it on our little daytime jobs. Like, wait, what? So that was a rude awakening. But, it's I think it's been sweeter because we've done it ourselves and paid for it, that way. And it's been hard, but
So I have a little philosophy with that, though, because we have a couple of businesses, and when you have investors, it's like you always have someone you have to report to at some point.
True.
Basically. And when you're on your own, it may be harder and it's more challenging, but you hold yourself accountable.
Yeah.
And you do things the way you want to do them. And I don't know.
From New York, why wouldn't she?
I know, but I just feel
right.
just feel better that way, knowing that.
No, I can totally attest to that.
But it's harder, no doubt.
Yeah.
But in the end, I think it'll be more rewarding.
That's what I'm hoping for. I mean, so far so good. I can't complain. But there were times when there was a lot of complaining.
I hear you.
I get that, because it's doing things the way that we want to do them, and saying yes and saying no based on what we want to do and don't do. So that's it's been nice, but it's been hard.
Do you guys ever have that feeling like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore? Have you ever had that with you and the guys, and just say, I don't know if this was the right thing to do?
2020.
2020. Yeah, you're right.
That was it. That was the spin your head around. What are we doing? It was like everybody else has these stable jobs or whatever, and we're like, is this crazy? Do we stick, because everybody was going home? So it's like, do we stick around? True. What do we do? But we did it. So
exactly. Do you have a home studio?
We do and we don't. We have like things. We have a full-blown PA system. We've got all of the drum kits. We've got the guitars, the amps, all of that. So we definitely have a place to jam, but we don't necessarily record things here. No.
Gotcha. Were you doing, during that 2020, doing like Facebook Lives and stuff like that, performing using Venmo or using Pickle Jar or something like that to get tips?
We really weren't doing it to get tips. We were doing it because I don't even think at the time that I even had Venmo. I didn't know what Pickle Jar was until 2 weeks ago. So that was like a thing. But when we were doing the Facebook Lives or the Instagram Lives, whatever they were at the time, I know we definitely did a couple Facebook Lives. It was just to keep our name out there. Like, hey, we're still here. Don't forget about us. I know you can't see us anymore, but so that was, we would do it like, I think for the first couple of times, we did it like once a month, like for like the first 3 months or something like that. Just to keep people talking to us,
Oh,
no, you have to do those things. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. What advice would you give somebody that wants to do what you've done? Really?
I don't know. I mean, I've found, I've been doing this professionally since I was 6, it's be patient. It happens when it happens. And, I haven't gotten to that level yet, so I'm waiting for it to happen. So hopefully it does happen. So there's a lot of that, a lot of patience. And I'm, you got to be resilient because there's just so much no's and not today's and maybe next times, so you gotta be resilient. And if you're going to try to even be in this industry at all. Yeah.
I'm sure people that are new to the industry are coming here with their dreams and they're young and they have to go through that phase of rejection and not knowing how to handle that and knowing how to get strength to work through that. Those are all big challenges for
100%. It's a big blow, to the ego and to the feelings and the questioning whether or not you can do it. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, a lot of people can't handle that being told no and all that too, or, all right, you're good, but you're not good enough. It's just, it's the mind game.
There is so much talent down there though. I mean,
100%.
So anyway,
I found the biggest thing with coming down here is that, and I've met so many friends down here. We were all the big fish where we came from, and when you come down here, it's, let's see how you measure up now, that kind of thing. So I think that in itself knocks a lot of people down, which every now and then needs to happen. But, I think that's a big part of the learning lesson down here in Music City in itself is that you're playing with the big boys now. So, yeah.
Oh, it's very true. Very true. You have to learn how to swim.
That's it.
How often do you come back home? How often do you go back and do you even play? Do you do shows at home at all?
In New York? I haven't been in New York in over 3 years.
Well, thanks for that. We're here. I mean,
so that's part of our plan for this year is that
I'm teasing you. Yeah.
I know. We really want to go do something up in the Hudson Valley. We're in the works. We've been talking to a couple different people with some shows that are going on. So we are in the works, but we have every intention of coming up this year.
That'd be awesome. You have to let us know.
I know. You'll have to come out so I can actually see you.
Absolutely. Deb and I would definitely make the trip.
Do you have family back in New York still that you haven't seen?
Yeah. My parents are down here very often. They love coming to Tennessee, but my parents are still up there. My mom's still working. So she's hopefully retiring next year. And then she'll be making the way down to Tennessee. But my in-laws are all up there. All of my girlfriends are up there. We've got a lot of family, a lot of friends up in New York. It's just it's been a lot of work down here, and then we lost a year, so nobody was traveling, and
right.
So I have every intention of making up for it this year.
Great. Wonderful.
Awesome, Sarah. This has been a great conversation. Really love chatting with you.
Thank you so much. I love talking to you guys. This was great.
Finding out about the band Hudson Valley, and for those that maybe just joined us, they're actually from New York, the Southern Tier. The Hudson Valley kind of speaks for itself, and we're in upstate New York. We talk about upstate. It's not Poughkeepsie. We're in Syracuse.
Yeah.
People. It's funny when of course, Deb being from Long Island, but Long Island. Long Island. Is that how you say it, Deb?
Yeah, that's how Long Island. What was funny is I saw somebody spell that out at one point, how we say it. I can't remember. I should have wrote it down, but I thought, oh my God.
L-A-U or L-A-W.
Yeah. Long Island.
Oh my God, we must sound terrible.
Right? One of the first things that I found out not found out, but when I moved down here, they immediately knew that I wasn't from here with dog and coffee and water.
Yeah.
They say water, like water. I don't even know. It's
water.
Awful, but I'm like, they get me with dog and they get me with coffee all the time.
That's almost like Boston. You're going to park the car in the garage.
Well, there's not that many H's. the khakis.
Park the car. But Sarah, it's great. The website, it's HudsonValleyMusic.com. Did I get that right?
Band.com.
Hudson Valley Band.
Yeah.
Okay, .com. I'm sorry. I should have put it on the screen there, and I did not. Apologize. HudsonValleyBand.com. What can we find on the website?
All sorts of stuff. We've got our shows listed there. We've got links to all of our music. We've got merchandise. All of our socials are all linked on there, and anywhere that you go with the socials, it's at Official Hudson Valley, and we have the little blue check to differentiate from the Hudson Valley, so you can find us pretty easy. Yeah.
Cool. Very cool. Very cool. Well, we look forward to hearing more, and of course, the new single. I'm sure it's going to be all over the radio.
I hope so.
Good. It's so good. What was it? Real quickly. So the first time you heard one of your songs on the radio, what was that like for you? I know maybe it sounds like a dumb question.
No,
but seriously, everybody's got a different answer. So what was it when you first heard one of your songs on the radio? What was it like?
The first time I ever heard our songs on the radio, it was 2019. It was our first single, Can't Have Nothing Nice, and it was on Radio Disney Country, and I was vacuuming my house, and I thought I heard somebody say Hudson Valley, so I shut off the vacuum, and they were doing an introduction, like, this is a new band out of Nashville, this is their first single, this one's called Can't Have Nothing Nice, and it started, and I think I went outside of my house and just screamed to everybody. My neighbors were like, what the hell? I was like, that's me on the radio.
How cool.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah. And how did you get in with Disney?
I'm not even really sure.
Well, Disney Country is not around anymore, I don't believe.
Oh, Radio Disney Country is not around anymore. Radio Disney still is, but
yes.
That branch, I guess, got lost in the abyss. I'm not sure.
It was
I always made this joke because I'm like, if they knew us as people, I highly doubt that they would be playing us on Radio Disney. Okay.
Probably not.
Not. But, it was just one of those things. It was with the people we were working with. I guess somebody just said something to somebody and they liked the song and it worked out well. And like I said, it was, one of those moments that'll always be in my mind. And, because of it, Radio Disney Country is a thing for me because it was the first place I heard it. But
absolutely.
Yeah, it was just so cool.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, we wish you lots of success and thanks for joining us here on Skip Happens. Skip Happens. And it does. It happened a couple of weeks ago. And we tried to get somebody on and it's like, all right, Skip happened. It does. It does. It happens. But and for people like you, it's happening in a good way. Skip is happening in a good way for you with Hudson Valley, HudsonValleyBand.com. Go to the website, check out the music, support the band, look up their shows, do what you got to do. Especially if you're from New York, you got to do it because they're from New York.
We're from New York.
And they got the New York attitude.
Yeah.
I like that.
And I'm outnumbered here.
Yes, you are. By women and New Yorkers. You are in trouble.
Well, the Southern Tier New Yorkers. I've been upstate all my life. I'm sure I sound it. But anyways, Sarah from the band Hudson Valley, thanks for joining us here on Skip Happens tonight. Great conversation. Found out a lot about you, found out a lot about the band, and found out a lot about what's going on. So it's cool.
Thank you so very much for having me, Skip and Deb. It was great talking to you guys.
Same. Well, let us know if you come up this way. Get in touch, and we definitely would love to check out a show.
Of course. Same if you're down in Nashville. Hit me up. I can tell you.
Oh, I'll be watching your website now because I'm pretty much down there every month. Yeah.
All the time.
See? Come on out. I'd love
behind.
I know. We'll keep you in mind, Skip. We'll send you. We'll send you a selfie.
I'll send you a glass from Bar Lines.
There you go.
Shh. Yeah. I'll get a phone call tomorrow. We've been wondering why the inventory.
We've been for one glass
one glass.
Yeah.
All right. Sarah, you're awesome. Thanks for joining us. Hang on a line, but we're going to say goodbye to everybody and, peace out.
All right.
It's good seeing you.
Much.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.